So Attack on Titan 2 has been out for a while now, and a bunch of content has been added to the game since it was released, such as DLC costumes, DLC episodes, a few online modes, and very recently an update that included things like Kenny's hat, heaven difficulty, and stuff like that. And I'm sure we all appreciate that Koei Tecmo and Megaforce have made the effort to make more content and to keep players playing for longer. But what else could be added to the game? I'm sure you guys are probably tired of hearing me say Titan PvP or humans versus Titans, and a horde mode where we face endless waves of Titans that progressively gets harder, but I've been thinking of a mode for a while now that I think will be great for Attack on Titan 2, and that is Warrior mode. Now, the first part of this video will not contain spoilers, but the end of it will, as I'll be referencing things that happen in chapter 95 and 96, but don't worry, you'll be warned well in advance. So, this first part will be non-spoiler, and I'll be talking about it from what we've seen in season 1 and 2 of the anime so far. So, Warrior mode. What would this mode be like? Well, from the anime we have our warrior trio, Annie, Reiner and Bertolt, and as we found out in season 1, Annie is actually the female Titan. Whoa, wait. You're telling me that the blonde female Titan that looks exactly like Annie was actually Annie the entire time? Then in season 2 we found out that Reiner is the armor Titan and Bertolt is the colossal Titan, which we found out very casually from Reiner, who just decided to bring it up in a conversation. You know, like anyone would do, you're just having a normal conversation with someone and all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, I'm the armor Titan, he's the colossal Titan, a few years ago we came here to wipe out all of humanity, it's whatever. Now, in both Wings of Freedom and Attack on Titan 2, we fought them in the story multiple times, but did you ever wonder what it might be like from their point of view? I mean, in Attack on Titan 2, we get to play as all of them in human and Titan form, with the exception of Bertolt not really being playable as the Colossal Titan, but imagine what it will be like being Annie as the female Titan, chasing down Eren in the forest in season 1, or being Reiner as the armored Titan charging through all the walls in the first episode, or trying to run away with Eren and the scouts chasing you in season 2 and fighting off Titans charging at you because Eren used the coordinates whilst trying to defend Bertolt. A story driven mode like this with a few playable missions and cutscenes would be great in my opinion. Now, it wouldn't necessarily have to be that long, but I think just adding cutscenes that show things from their perspective would be a nice addition to the game. Like, knowing what's going through Annie's head when she's trying to capture Eren, then she finally does, just to eventually get cut down by Levi. And that entire segment would consist of us playing as Annie, trying to find Eren. Then when she comes into contact with Armin, Reiner and Jan, it could show a cutscene where it's a first person view of Annie, checking if Armin is Eren, then Reiner showing her where to go. I definitely think first person cutscenes would work well from the Titan's point of view. Then there'd of course be the forest segment where as Annie, you basically kill all of Levi's squad. If it wasn't bad enough watching them die, imagine actually having to kill them yourself. Then you'd battle Eren as a Titan and eventually Levi and Mikasa. And the very last mission for Annie would be the end of season 1 where she fights Eren, she tries to climb over the wall, she gets cut down by Mikasa and she ends up trapping herself in a crystal barrier, and that would wrap up her part. Then it would move on to season 2 where we play as Reiner, and unfortunately not as Bertolt. As I said, he's a one-time use, so I'm not really sure if he would work or if they could incorporate him into the game. Maybe they could in a way that's like the buddy system, where you select him to attack nearby humans or nearby Titans or something like that, just so that he's included. But as Reiner, you would fight Eren in Titan form after you and Bertolt transform. Then the last mission would be you and Bertolt trying to escape with Eren whilst fighting the scouts as well as Titans when Eren uses the coordinates. But I think the only way this mode could potentially work is if you could attack humans as Titans, which I really hope it does get added. I'm sure it would be difficult, but it would be great if they did, because if we ever got season 3 DLC that follows the story, we'd be fighting humans. And also, as horrible as it would be, I think this mode, if it ever happened, they would definitely need to include that Marco scene. In season 2, when Reiner accidentally refers to himself as a soldier and Bertolt reminds him that he's a warrior, Reiner has a flashback that shows what really happened to Marco, as well as in Lost Girls, and we know that Reiner, Annie and Bertolt were a part of it. And overall, I think it'd be a really fun mode. even if it's only a few missions and cutscenes, it'd just be cool to play those missions from their point of view. So to those of you who just watched the anime, feel free to let me know what you think of this being a mode in the game and what other modes you would like to see. And now we're moving on to the spoiler section. Once again, this part will contain spoilers for chapter 95 and 96, so if you haven't read that far, you should probably stop watching to avoid spoilers. So guys, as well as including content from what we've seen in the anime, I think they could also include content from the manga, like before the fall of Wall Maria, Reiner, Annie, Bertolt and Marcel arriving at the island, we could see Ymir as a mindless titan eat Marcel, which could give context as to how she got the power of the Jaw Titan. Then, when Annie is the female titan, she's carrying Reiner and Bertolt and titans are chasing after them. It could show that wasn't intentional, and maybe there'd even be a mission where as Annie as the female titan, you would defend Bertolt until he's ready to become the colossal titan. As we know, Annie gets tired out because they lost the Jaw Titan to Ymir, and as a result Annie had to run all the distance herself, so maybe in this part we fight off titans and then she gets tired out. I think that could be pretty cool. But of course I'm not too sure about it because it would contain a lot of spoilers, but I'm sure at this point people who don't read the manga might be curious about seeing things from their point of view now that they know they're Titan. And by the way, I just have to say chapter 96 really did change the way I see the opening scene of the colossal titan kicking down the wall. Like, when you first see it you think it's this giant evil titan, but it's actually just Bertolt as a kid and he wasn't even sure if he could do it. Now this game is called Attack on Titan 2, so of course we'd be playing the events from season 1 and 2, and it wouldn't go any further than that, like including anything to do with Marley. But I think a bonus mission would be fun, like the one I just mentioned when they're about to kick a hole in Wall Maria and the Titans are chasing them. Just like the ending of Attack on Titan 2 the game, where Reiner, Bertolt and Zeke try to save Annie. Even though that isn't canon, I did enjoy all the references and it was cool seeing what it would have been like if they actually tried to save her. Anyway guys, I just like the idea of a story mode called Warrior Mode being added to the game and thought I might as well make a video on it. I like making Attack on Titan videos about things I would like to see in the game and seeing what you all have to say and what modes you would like to see. So guys, feel free to let me know what you think of this mode, what other modes you would like to see in the game, or just anything, you know the comment section is. And as always, thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video, I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.